Hey guys, it's Chelsea from The Financial Diet, and this week's video is brought to you by Adobe Document Cloud. And this week, we're going to be talking about all the little things you could be doing better next year, as an accompaniment to last week's video about all the stuff you should be leaving behind in 2018. So let's get right into it with 15 things you should be doing differently in 2019. Number 1 is a 3-item night routine. Simply put, make a list of 3 things that you constantly find yourself running late on or not having time for every morning. And now, those 3 things, if at all possible, must be done at night. For example, my 3 biggest things that are always tripping me up in the morning are figuring out what I'm going to wear, packing my lunch, and getting my dog's bag ready because she often comes to the office with me. Now I do those 3 things the night before, and I have found that it has a huge impact on the quality of my morning, as well as the quality of my sleep, because I'm not constantly stressing over all the stuff I have to do when I wake up, which makes my whole day better and easier. Number 2 is start thinking plant first. According to the CDC, only 1 in 10 Americans are getting enough fruits and vegetables every day, which, yikes. But eating a lot of fruits and vegetables isn't just good for your health, it also can save you a ton of money. In fact, on average, vegetarians can save up to $750 a year when compared to meat eaters. And you don't need to go fully plant-based. You can simply change your thinking when it comes to food. You start with the vegetable first and plan the rest of the meal around that. And challenge yourself to find meals and recipes where vegetables are used in an exciting and interesting way, so you're not feeling like you're just constantly forcing yourself to eat handfuls of lettuce or broccoli. Plants can be fun and the star of your plate. You just have to make it happen. Number 3 is get the right tools to organize. So I am someone who has become more and more reliant on having the right tools in order to get the work done that I need to get done. I'm an obsessive user of Google Calendar and Spreadsheets for both my business and personal lives to get everything in order on a day-to-day basis, but more on that later. And one app that I've found extremely helpful in getting all of my documents together and organized is Adobe Scan. Adobe Scan is a free mobile app that basically turns your phone into a mobile scanner and allows you to create editable PDFs of all of your paperwork. It can be used to consolidate any paper documents you might need to take on the go, or to capture digital versions of documents while traveling. For example, I've never had a great system for storing receipts, which I really need to do. I usually just keep them in a box, but it's super precarious not to have a digital version of them. Plus, if I'm being honest, I know it would be a huge hassle to actually go and sift through that box when I need to find something. Whereas if I had my receipts online with clearly labeled file names, all I would need to do is search for them to pull them up. So this is all you do. I just took a picture on my desk, and now my receipt is a totally editable and shareable PDF. So using Adobe Scan More is just one thing I could do next year to be a lot more organized, and the best part is it's free on iOS and Android. So download them and check them out. Links are in the description. Number 4 is to buy things way before you need them. January is a slow month for retail with the holidays being over, so it's also one of the best times to buy winter clothes at a huge discount because retailers want to get rid of them to make way for spring. It's also a great time to buy home goods like bedding. Last year, we saw those 70% off discounts at Macy's, Overstock, and Wayfair, but good deals could be found at JCPenney, Kohl's, and Target too. Additionally, plan your holiday shopping way ahead of time. If you set aside a small amount of money each month for gifting, you won't find yourself struggling to pay for it come a holiday. And you can also be more thoughtful about the gifts you're giving people. If you're able to buy someone the perfect Christmas gift 9 months early on super steep sale, that's a huge win. Number 5 is to up your credit card limit, if you can. So we've talked about this before, but it's always important to remind you guys. If you can up your spending limit on your credit card and trust yourself not to spend the difference, you definitely should. It's a free and easy way to have a big positive impact on your credit score, and that's because of something called a credit utilization ratio. Your credit utilization rate, sometimes called your credit utilization ratio, is the amount of revolving credit you're currently using divided by the total amount of revolving credit you have available. In other words, it's how much you currently owe divided by your credit limit. It's generally expressed as a percent. If you've been looking for ways to up your credit score, but you're already making payments on time, you're not pulling hard checks on your credit unnecessarily, and you're doing all the other day-to-day maintenance to keep a good score, this is a great option. Number 6 is to lean into I don't know. One of the most nefarious elements of social media platforms, especially ones like Twitter, is how much it can encourage us to form hard opinions on things we don't know much about or don't even really care about. When everyone is sharing their take on any given news news story or pop culture event, it can feel like you're missing out on a huge conversation by not jumping in. In fact, this behavior is so established that it's even a phenomenon within journalism, and the term hot take even has its own entry on Wikipedia. In journalism, a hot take is a piece of deliberately provocative commentary that is based almost entirely on shallow moralizing in response to a news story, usually written on tight deadlines with little researcher reporting and even less thought. But we can choose to tune out that social media pressure to weigh in on everything, no matter how ill-informed we are. And in this time when everyone seems to be shouting with less and less information, there is something powerful about choosing to be honest when you really don't know enough about something to form an opinion. Getting comfortable with the idea of really informing yourself before jumping into a conversation, or maybe even just deciding that something is out of your expertise altogether, is a great way to avoid saying something you may end up regretting. Number 7 is get rental insurance. A lot of people don't realize how easy it is to protect your belongings, even if you don't own a home. Renter's insurance provides financial reimbursement to cover a tenant's lost or damaged possessions as a result of fire, theft, or vandalism. And this might actually already be required by your landlord, depending on your property management company and living situation. And while your cost per month might vary, the average cost is only $16 a month. You should probably get it. Number 8 is to create one weekly enriching routine. Pick one day a week to create a routine that is purely about enriching yourself. And that could be mentally, professionally, socially, or even just in terms of relaxation. Because by the way, meditation is a great use of this time. But this routine should be really about doing something that is truly for you and about becoming a better version of yourself in whatever way that means to you. It's not about that thing you should do, like that gym membership you're almost certainly never going to use. This should be something that you stick to because you enjoy it, and something that frees you from that feeling that you should be using that time for something more productive, like answering more emails. In fact, I very recently invested in my own little personal routine for the new year. Tap, tap, tap. I can't wait to be extremely annoying on Instagram. Number 9 is stop self-defeating emails. Especially for women, the tendency to be overly apologetic, self-deprecating, or way too accommodating, especially in email, is overwhelming. We are taught to justify ourselves, to pepper our communication with way too many exclamation points so we don't seem terse, or even to apologetically ask for things that we already should have gotten. Sorry, just following up here is something that probably every woman watching this has said in an email when talking about something that someone should have already given them. Don't apologize to them. That's their fault. And it's so important to catch ourselves in these gratuitous sorries, justifications, or overused exclamation points. Challenging yourself to write more clear and unapologetic emails, of course still within the reason of politeness, is one of the most powerful ways you can change the way your colleagues see you next year. Number 10 is stop paying to store your money. According to a recent My Bank Tracker study, the average checking account fee at top US banks is $9.60. Amounts average between $0 to $20, with many finding a middle ground at either $7, $10, or $12. That means you could be paying literally $100 or more every year just to store your money, which is ridiculous because there's literally no reason to do this. There are plenty of online banks that offer no-fee checking accounts, and many credit unions that do as well. Consider doing this, especially if your current bank is charging you for things like not keeping a high enough account balance, because no one should be financially punished for not being rich enough. Number 11 is break domestic tasks into spreadsheets. So as I mentioned before, I am a huge fan of using spreadsheets for my personal tasks, and I never find this more useful than with all things domestic. For example, I have a deep cleaning spreadsheet that I use about once a month, where I have columns of every room and cells made of every task within that room, but you can also do the reverse by having the columns be the tasks and the cells be the rooms you need to do them in. And I also put my grocery list into spreadsheets that are organized by category. And even when hosting a party or having friends come for overnight visits, I make a little spreadsheet just for that event so I can break down the things I need to buy, clean, and do the day of. Breaking these big tasks into spreadsheets makes them feel more manageable, understandable, and integratable into all of your other day-to-day responsibilities. Number 12 is to block time-wasting websites. As of 2017, daily social media usage of global internet users amounted to 135 minutes per day, up from 100 126 daily minutes in the previous year. Think of all the other stuff you could be doing with that time, let's be honest. So to save yourself from having your days eaten up by these time-wasting websites, download a browser extension like Tomato Timer, which will help you save yourself from the problem. When you set it, the Tomato Timer will block you from all those sites like Reddit or Twitter or Instagram or whatever's eating up your time for 25 minutes with a break of 5 minutes between. Number 13 is get to know your locals. Get to know the people in your community who really matter in your day-to-day life. Everything from your bank representative to your barista to local government officials, store clerks, neighbors, bartenders, everyone who's really a part of your day-to-day life and whom you should know. And it's not about just setting yourself up for potentially better deals and definitely better service. It's also a really good way to make yourself feel an active sense of belonging in your community. There's an idea called social collusion, which one TFD contributor actually recently wrote about. As he writes, social collusion is the most powerful concept I have encountered when it comes to meeting people naturally. It is perfect for introverted personalities and takes the pressure off of us in the first few encounters with new people. For example, I used to take my dog to the same dog park every day at about 6 p.m. The people there sucked, and so did their dogs. They were tired and stressed out from the day, and their dogs were wild from being cooped up all day. So I changed it up. I went to the dog park at 7 a.m. every day. We went over and over in every weather condition constantly for weeks. And you know what happened? I became friends with 5 people who had some of the same values I did. We made our dog's exercise a priority, and we woke up early to ensure it happened. That was enough to find other commonalities. And believe it or not, I got to know some of these people's families. They became my friends. I went out on 2 dates with a woman in the group, and we remained friends long after. Be consistent and go to the same place day after day, but do it intentionally. That is how social collusion works. And you can try this way of living with basically any daily routine in your life. Be more intentional and make it a point to learn about the people who fill the background of your day. Number 14 is file your taxes early. Point blank, the sooner you can cash that refund check or know what kind of money you might be owing, the better. And tax day is April 15th, but you can actually file as early as January 29th. And taking care of this early means that you can potentially avoid fees or late payments, because let's be honest, when some of us let April 15th creep up on us, we may even accidentally go past that day. Be preemptive about your taxes this year. There's no reason not to. Lastly, number 15 is to try the 30-day wardrobe challenge. Like many Americans, and I assume many human beings in general, I have many times found myself standing in front of my overly full closet feeling as if I had nothing to wear. And while some items were actually ill-fitting or out of style or damaged, the main reason why I felt like I had nothing to wear was because I kept defaulting to the same combination of outfits which quickly felt stale and drab. So I gave myself a challenge, which I actually wrote about on TFD. We'll link you in the description, but here's a little bit of what I had to say, if I may quote myself. The challenge is simple. For 1 month, I can only wear outfit combinations I've never worn before while buying nothing new. For that time, I'll be shopping my own closet and forcing myself to create looks I've never put together before, because let's be honest, there's a solid 40% of stuff I never really wear, and a short rotation of the same few things that I'm super comfortable in, which end up becoming my default, which ultimately leads me to feeling exhausted with my own stuff. In doing this, I learned that I actually love a lot of the items that I used to push to the back of my closet, or that some items I just hadn't found the right outfit combination before. It made everything feel fresh and getting ready feel like an exciting challenge rather than a hassle. Plus, it's free! You know we love that on TFD. Basically, 2019 should be about doing all the things that make your life healthier, easier, happier, and more efficient without having to radically change anything. Little tweaks can make such a huge difference, and so can the right tools, like the totally free Adobe Scan, which is available at the link in our description. Check it out. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and to come back every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday for new and awesome videos. Bye!